So you save your icing on the lemon loaf cake till the end too?
Yeah.
So you gotta turn it.
I did. I
in the
flipped
bag.
mine.
Yeah, me too. Because the icing's the best part.
Why would anybody eat the icing first? Like,
Sociopaths.
there's just no brains there.
Edinburgh, Indiana attracts a lot of people, usually people searching for something special. From the outlet mall, one of only 2 in the state, to the overwhelming 72,000 square foot antique mall. How long do you think it would take to go through here, like a good amount of seeing everything?
Like to thoroughly see everything?
To at least get a good idea of what's in this place.
2 hours?
I think, yeah, that might be even a little short.
It was overwhelming.
In places like this, my obsessive side usually requires me to go to every single booth.
Yeah.
But that was not possible in this place.
But if you drive a few miles north toward Franklin, on a country road in an unincorporated area known as Amity, you will drive past something that, unless you are specifically searching for it, you will completely miss.
Okay, so there's the divided highway sign.
Oh, so is it?
That's it right there. In the median.
So the downside is there's no place to park, so you gotta get creative. And this is an active road. And you come up on this median, and of all things, you find the grave of one Nancy Barnett. Barnett was not a notable historical figure. In fact, being buried in the middle of this street is the only reason she is known beyond her descendants. She was simply a farmer's wife, although her husband William was a great-great-great-grandson of Pocahontas and John Rolfe. So as the story goes, this was just farmland, and upon her death, Miss Barnett requested to be buried in this exact spot, which back then was a grassy hill. And she was buried here in, like it says, 1831, when the county wanted to build a road through here in the early 1900s. Her grandson, Daniel Doty, came down here to make sure that her body was not removed. He actually came down here, supposedly he armed himself, and being the good Hoosier that he was, basically threatened the workers to make sure that his grandmother's body was not removed from this spot. Once Nancy was buried here, a small cemetery did form in this area. But when they decided to build a road through here, the other bodies were exhumed. Nancy's grandson made a point to make sure that her body stayed here, according to her final wishes. Now, another interesting twist to this story was in 2016, when they exhumed her body briefly to widen and upgrade the road around her. And when they dug up the area around her grave, they found the remains of a total of 7 people. So it's not just Nancy Barnett that's buried here. There are 6 other people buried here. Several of them are children. It's likely that hundreds of people each day drive right past the remains of Miss Barnett and the others buried with her, without ever realizing it. So, I mean, it's definitely hazardous. You got cars driving by. And one of the reasons they had to rebuild this in 2016 was how it was built before. There were a decent number of accidents at this grave site. And in my opinion, I think it looked better the way it was before, because there was a much nicer area in the middle of the road. She's probably resting more in peace and more securely than she was before. They made her grave more secure. They buried her deeper when they redid it in 2016, but it's literally just a median now. There's nothing else. There's no other historical marker. So you could literally drive right past this median and not realize you're driving past the gravesite of technically 7 people. One of them being Nancy Barnett.
Now, before they reconstructed this road, the divided highway sign used to have a cross in the middle of the median there, noting that it was a cemetery. But they don't have that anymore. You could literally drive right past this and not know, because why would you even think about it? But there's 7 people buried right there. Probably the weirdest grave I've ever seen.